Hey everybody, this is just a quick little video, and I just ran across this video on YouTube, and I noticed there's this college, the Georgetown College of Lawyers. Now, this immigrant guy, I guess he worked at the border. They had this conference, or whatever, where convention or whatever they have to do this speech on immigrant, I guess. And he couldn't speak of what's going on at the borders. But apparently, the only people allowed in this conference was legal immigrants. Apparently, for them to be in college or whatever. But all these immigrants that are legal yelled and shut down the conference and would not allow this guy here to speak. He been up 4 different times and tried to speak, but these immigrants, these legal immigrants who are in college, calling out these Hispanic names of people, 16, 17, I guess. I don't know what they're calling a name out for. I guess they are children of parents that came here and decided becoming legal was not a part of their plan. Come and scream asylum, but once they get here, becoming legal is not a plan. So my only point in saying this is, if this was a college, this is Georgetown College, if this was a college of Black Americans fighting for rights, such as the atrocities that are happening to Black Americans in America, these police officers, security that was standing there, would have had them all arrested. A few of them probably would have been shot. But no, these immigrants that are legal are here to fight for millions of immigrants, migrants that are not legal and choose not to become legal, but to come in and demand rights that are not privy to certain Black Americans who are fighting for rights. And one thing I know I've been hearing, Black Americans that are living in their own neighborhoods, when these immigrants that are not legal move in and live among them poor, and then as they take the jobs and do whatever, then they have their families by the millions over time come in and just take over all the programs and projects that was put in place to help Black Americans back in the 60s, when Lyndon B. Johnson put in place for Black Americans. But now these projects and different programs that's been put in place to help Black Americans after the civil rights death and murder of, I guess, Martin Luther King and all these other people put in jail. Those programs and projects that was put in place to help them, to give them something, are now being stripped away by immigrants. They'll be stripped away by legal immigrants that are taking these programs and fighting, protesting, and not being brutalized by the police. They got their freedom and rights that black Americans don't have. Black Americans don't have the right to protest. They don't have the right to do anything. Because as you see what happened when they protest. So my thing with black Americans is to boycott everything. Just boycott everything. Don't show up. But black Americans don't have to support anything that don't support. Now these people are fighting for the bad conditions of these immigrants that are illegal at the border and whatever. But black Americans are not allowed to do equally the same thing for black Americans that are living in conditions that are horrible. So my thing is, I just notice how, as this screaming and hollering and shouting and total disrespect to this man here who working at the border, like he says, he got work to do. He going back to the border. So with him coming there to speak to tell them what's happening at the border, he never had something that they wanted to hear. But because they got the rights that black Americans don't have to get up and speak and shout down without being drugged out, arrested, brutalized, and beaten by the police, these ones have the same rights as the white culture has. Black Americans don't have that. And some can say, oh, you just whining this and that. But it's not about whining. Because if it was about whining, then these immigrants here are all whiners. Because they're whining because all the immigrants are not allowed to cross the border and come into America so they can hire them in their jobs, in their offices, and pretend like black Americans don't want to work. Black Americans are lazy. Black Americans blame this, black American that. And what are they doing? My thing is this. I just took notice that because you have to have some order coming across the border. If all these people come across the border, you're going to have a lot of hungry, poor people. Where are they going to live? They demand to get the welfare, the projects, the programs that have been put in place to help black Americans. But it's bad. They want to come in and have these projects like the pipeline from school to prison. They want to have projects put in place, child support, keep the men the different ways or projects of getting or putting black Americans in jail, like child support. And this thing is claiming that black women choose child support over having a man in the home. I don't know where that lie come from, but I know a lot of young black girls, a lot of them, because I have black girls, and these girls are on a government assistance. I've never heard one girl say, I'd rather have a welfare check and some food stamp over a man in the house that's working, making money, and helping me pay bills. I've never heard that. So we need to just dismiss that lie. And black Americans need to dismiss that lie. Black men, black women, because black women aren't the ones saying it. That I know it's black men that's saying it. So black men, black Americans need to dispel that lie, because a woman on welfare get these checks, food stamp or whatever. And I have some family members, some cousins, that was forced to get on food stamps, welfare, and put the man on child support because 3 different times he chose, well, I'm gonna you get a house, we this and this and that. She gets a house. What does he do? Moves out and marries somebody else. Now she's left alone in this house to pay the bills by herself with her kids. So it got to the place where she wasn't in a position to help. Like, oh, she's a nursing assistant now and doing well for herself. After she finally got her footing, but the whole time she was on welfare, not once did I hear this girl say out of her mouth, I get welfare and food stamp because I choose that over my baby daddy helping me, over my baby daddy being in the house and helping me. I never heard that. But what I did hear was she was forced and drugged down to that health department to get to to get the food stamp, to get the welfare, because it was ridiculous how this child was living. She had 2 choices: you either go down there and get it, or you come home. So she would go get it, and it would get to the point where she would move back in with her parents, because her parents always had her. Because a lot of young girls and this girl only know one man in her life ever. When they say you had the Pookies and the Riri, this girl ain't never know but one man, one ever in her life, and she kept it that way. So all her kids have the same father. So this black women choose food stamp and welfare over a man being in the house. It's just another form of black men. I guess it's the psychology of, it's basically something in them, because as a black woman, I see it as the fact that you can say that is something about black men who say that. Black women kick men out the house for a check, welfare check, food stamp. They put the men out. 9 times out of 10, if a black man is living in the house and the black woman's paying all the bill, and he laying up there, she come home, he cheating, he got women in the house, he doing this and that, especially if she working, that will get him kicked out of the house. Because a woman shouldn't have to take care of kids and a man kid. He's just sitting in the house. She's not allowed to kick those men out. And because she's struggling so hard, she can't pay the bills, and her and the kids are about to go in the shelter, or move back in with mom and daddy, or move with somebody, auntie or whatever. She's not allowed to go get on. She got to get on government assistance, because she got to help her kids somehow, because whoever she moving with or whatever can't take care of her like that. While a man come back in and decide that she don't love him, or she don't put no more on his books, or she won't have no relations with him, or she's seeing somebody else. My thing is, I've never heard a woman. I never heard a black woman, and I know some black women with children, because I didn't, even though I have cousins that came that route, I never came that route because I never allowed a man to stay in my house. When I was a single mother, this man was not allowed to just stay in my house. I paid my own bills. He had to pay the child support. If the child needs something, he had to do it. But when he chose to put a ring on it, then he moved me from the quaint little trailer that I was in into a break home. And we've gone through the years, and now we still together 20 years later. But anyway, with all that said, with Black American and women, um, reality in the Black culture, living this particular life condition, life experience, immigrants came over here, lived the exact same life experience. The only difference was, and I remember like yesterday, and it's still going on. They were giving everything. Everything they got was handouts. Immigrants got all the handouts. I know this. I saw it with my own eyes. I watched my older sister feed, clothe, got on government assistance these migrants. And now that their children have gone to school, and those that were born here who are anchor babies have gone to college, and now they're at this scene fighting for their parents and all the other migrants at the border, demanding to come in by the millions. Where are they going to live? Because if they come over here, Black Americans need to do the same thing. Get to a place where, okay, you want to come over, we're not going to help you no more. Because it's Black Americans that got these people here. I know this. I know this for a fact. I've seen it with my own eyes. The programs that got them here. Head Start. I know that for a fact. Public schools. Social services projects designed specifically to help only the migrants that are poor, living in the poor neighborhoods, as Black Americans attempt to uplift their life experience in these poor neighborhoods, as the migrants come over here and do the same thing. And I know this for a fact. When I try to come up, with these different companies, I'm an entrepreneur that I work with. I was in the cell phone business, and I was, getting a cell phone out, building my business. And what happened? The money that my business was stripped away and given to a Hispanic called Maria. And they allowed the cell phones to come up in the Hispanic neighborhood through Hispanic, even though I was doing the cell phones. They took all my sales and given to her, and they did that a couple of times. It just happened with doing the free phones. We go everywhere, we give out free phones to Black Americans, give it to everybody, and it doesn't matter what race. And I saw it happen again through the Head Start program. They had the Mexican Hispanic lady come in, give her a phone, and she goes in and makes sure her community get it. So the thing about it is, as Black Americans do what they need to come up out of this experience, opportunities are taken away. I can say this because opportunity was literally taken out of my hand. I'm not lying, I'm not complaining. I'm just giving you an experience that happened. So this thing with all of this, immigrants fight for them, they do what they do. Just like everybody else fight for them, they do what they do. It's time for Black Americans to start doing the same thing. These immigrants don't care 2S about Black America because it's all about them. And Black America has a right to feel the same way. Don't give 2S about any of them, legal or illegal. because it's all about them. It's a birthright. Black American first. Me first. Not selfish, but self first. Self first. These immigrants here put self first above everything. Black America, and it's already started through the ADOS movement, self first above everything. They protest, shout it down, disrupt, they don't get arrested, police are not called, Black Americans arrested, police called, horrible things happen. It is what it is. Therefore, they want to protest, Black Americans gonna boycott everything. You see, you just want to sit on your butt and wait. No, boycott don't mean you sit on your butt and just wait for something to fall in your lap. Boycott means Black Americans, especially ADOS, do what they need to do by boycotting certain things. And the immigrants do what they need to do and protest everything. But anyway, that's all I want to say about this Georgetown College of majority immigrant lawyers. I see some Black Americans in there, and I guess they're just sitting there watching. But Black American lawyers need to get together. You don't gotta protest like they do, but you can definitely boycott certain. Like I said, this was an immigrant agenda. You can definitely boycott Black agenda that don't benefit Black Americans. That basically benefit all Americans, but it don't benefit Black Americans. Anyway, that's it for this video, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more of my I'm still trying to frame what it is I'm doing, but check out Neoport Community and see if you would like to be a part of the spoken word poetry that is being recorded there. It's a new channel, and I'm still in the process of branding it as I'm branding this channel. But anyway, I will see you in the next video.